whisked by the waters, moonfire, ash, and green offerings. At the edge of the Berendonck, under the waning moon, I stripped away the last threads of old burdens, clothes still on, but spirit bare. The fire had long spoken its final words. Ashes cooled in a jar, remnants of a rope once tied with intent. That rope had burned under the last quarter moon, in a ritual of letting go, a closing of old chapters, a farewell to that which no longer serves. Today I waded into the water, let the earth touch skin, let the wind greet me as kin. And with reverence, I poured the ashes into the lake, not as waste, but as sacred remains. What we burn with purpose, we must return with grace. Ashes to water, flame to flow, an offering back to the world that made me. Afterwards, I searched the shore, looking not for treasure, but for memory, for the small voices of nature that speak only when you're quiet. I found feathers, symbols of spirit and flight, shells, bones of the water's body, and plants, so many plants. I walked the roadsides home, berms wild and abundant, and as if the goddess herself had scattered green runes in my path, I picked those that called to me, each picked with purpose, for study, for healing, and to craft soft, smouldering offerings in the form of tea-light incense. You don't need psychedelics to touch the unseen. You don't need to consume to commune. Smoke, scent, song, they're all bridges to the divine, and the plants know, they always have. Here are a few wild herbs well suited for tea-light incense. Mugwort, for dreams, visions, and protection. Chamomile, for peace, calm, and spirit healing. Thyme, for courage and purification. Yarrow, for psychic shield and warrior's focus. Red clover, for love, clarity, and female energy. Ground ivy, or creeping Charlie, for insight and boundary magic. Self-heal, prunella, for healing spells and emotional mending. Dandelion, for wishcraft, solar clarity, and spirit messages. Once home, I trimmed them gently, took photos, named them, labelled them, and began the sacred act of drying, each on its cloth in air or dehydrator, preparing them for their next life, as incense above the flame whispering into the unseen. But always remember, wildcraft with wisdom. Do not harvest in protected areas or from places under ecological stress. Avoid the Hatertse Vennen, for example. Instead, explore where wild growth is abundant, like the roadsides near the Philips building, just before reaching the Goffert. Never take more than 1/3 of a plant's patch. Know what you're picking. Some herbs look alike and some can harm. Dry fully before use to prevent mold or toxic combustion. Use a heat-safe incense mesh or dish. Never place plants directly in candle flame. Do not wildcraft during lightning storms or dangerous winds. Nature gives gifts, but she also demands respect. Final transition with reverb or soft mute swell. Magic isn't loud, it hums beneath the skin. It rests in soil, ash, and smoke. Whether by firelight or rainfall, whether sky is clear or weeping, we walk the path of our ancestors, leaf by leaf, breath by breath. So take your time, offer gently, and never forget the land is watching and sometimes it speaks back.